Hello from Southern California, and welcome to StoryAd's Bookselling, a practical guide. Thank you for taking the time from your busy day to join us. We promise to be informative and brief. We will keep this presentation to around 30 minutes, including a question and answer session. You are always welcome to contact us directly with any questions you may have. We'll provide that contact information for you at the end of our discussion. Now, without further ado, let's dive on in. My name is Ramsey. I'm the lead founder of StoryAd. StoryAd was started because of a deep admiration and respect for storytelling and storytellers. Putting a story together is hard work. Getting the story ready for the market is harder still. Getting the story bought, read, and talked about can feel pretty daunting and outright frustrating. Everything StoryAd builds is geared towards helping authors get proactive to gain more and more control over the various facets of bookselling. In this presentation, we'll be taking a brisk walk through the wonderful world of bookselling. First, we're going to talk about the challenges authors face in a very competitive bookselling market. Then, we're going to talk about developing the strategies and tools that lead to the market awareness that sells books. And finally, and this is the practical part of our presentation, we'll be looking at the component parts of your three interconnected plans: your networking plan, your marketing plan, and your publicity plan. Okay, let's start with two important numbers. This is our absolute favorite graphic. It's simple, and it speaks a fabulous truth. You may have written the greatest story in the history of the known and unknown universe, but if no one knows about it, there is a 0% chance they'll go looking for it. Your goal is to make people aware of your book, lots of people. That's the essence of marketing. And marketing is at the heart of the 595 rule. Next, let's sneak a peek at the bookselling market and the challenges it presents. Bookselling market fundamentals are cold, impersonal things, but it is supremely important to know what we're up against. None of these facts are new to anyone, no doubt. There are two central points to the current bookselling market we need to keep in mind. One, it is a crowded place, and two, it is the author's increasing responsibility to stand out in such a crowded marketplace. To stand out in such a crowded field, we'll need an outstanding bookselling plan. I'm going to be really blunt. All bookselling success starts and ends with lots of connection and strong communication. Of course, no one is born being an expert in these things, so like everything else, it's a process that requires time, dedication, and lots of creativity. And please remember, it's your dedication and your creativity that makes it uniquely yours. The good news is anyone and everyone is a potential reader of your book, and I mean everyone. You want different types of people in your network, from casual readers to book clubs to reviewers to professional editors to lit mags and so forth. What do you want? Well, you want them to consider your book, and they, in turn, want entertaining and informative content from you. Connecting with your network in meaningful, long-lasting ways is where your creativity comes in. The quote from The Economist at the bottom of this slide reinforces the new bookselling reality. The author who communicates, shares, and interacts with readers is the successful author. If it's more information that readers want, then more information is what we need to give them. To accomplish this end, we need a plan. 3 interconnected plans to be exact. So let's go there next. Successful bookselling is all about planning. And as we know, all good plans require a goal, a strategy, and tactics. The goal is straightforward: to sell lots of books. Now, to sell lots of books, we'll need to develop integrated networking, marketing, and publicity plans that help guide your intended audience to one place, your book. The tactics you employ are the book marketing assets you develop to put your networking, marketing, and publicity plans in play. With the goal of selling as many books as possible in mind, let's take a look at strategy. Networking is connecting with people in meaningful and mutually beneficial ways. Marketing is making it informative and entertaining for your readers to learn about you and your book. Publicity is getting people to talk about you and your book. These plans work together to communicate with your intended audience all about you as an author and your book. As we'll see, the success of your book selling strategy hinges on the quality of your marketing messages and the quantity of the messages you send out to your target audiences. Next, we'll take a look at some of the marketing tools you may want to develop. Every marketing tool you develop is another story that leads to your book. The more book marketing tools you have in your portfolio, the more ways you'll have to inform and entertain your target audience. Get creative. Be colorful. Putting marketing assets together is a ton of fun. Once your marketing assets are out there, they'll work really hard for you. You'll sell more books, of course. The challenge is in getting all your marketing messages out there. For more on connecting with audiences with compelling messages, let's revisit your interconnected networking, marketing, and publicity plans. Having lots of people in your network is a good thing, no doubt. Having lots of people in your network engaged and curious about you and your writing is even better. Networking is much more than collecting followers on Twitter and Facebook. It's about an organized and systematic plan to earn the attention of those people in your network. People want two things. They want to be informed and they want to be entertained. As an author, you're ideally situated to be that kind of resource, to be informative and to be entertaining. It is, after all, what you love to do. With that in mind, let's discuss the 5 points shown here. 1, time allocation. Develop a time budget for your networking activities. How much time per week can you devote to building and engaging your network? 2, connection. Join online and offline networking groups that expose you and your writing to as wide an audience as possible. 3, third-party content discovery and sharing. That's offering value to your networks by continually finding and sharing informative, entertaining, and even quirky content developed by third parties. 4, blogging and original content creation. Blog often. Create original content to, again, inform, educate, and entertain your network. And 5, network engagement. Become a conversation starter and a reliable resource of, you guessed it, information, education, and entertainment. Ask questions. Develop surveys. Host an informational webinar. There are no limits to how you can creatively and meaningfully engage your network. Now, let's talk about your marketing plan next. Your marketing plan should be all about what you show your audience, how you show them, and when you show them. Now, let's remember our unofficial mantra of be informative, be entertaining. With that mantra in mind, we want to build a bunch of marketing stuff that is memorable. A marketing portfolio like we saw earlier. You want to give your readers stuff to look at, stuff to read, stuff to listen to, and most importantly, stuff to watch. The more they think about and remember your book, the better. So give them interesting, memorable things to think about. Make it easy for your readers to share your book's information with others. Now, let's discuss each of the 7 points shown on the slide. Once again, time allocation. Develop your marketing time allocation. How much time per week can you devote to marketing yourself and your book? Budgeting. Develop a marketing budget you'll need to produce your marketing materials. 3, target audience determination. Define and quantify your book reading, reviewing, and buying audiences. There are 2 target groups. There are going to be the general reading public and 2, your industry influencers. And we'll get to industry influencers in just a bit. 4, market research. Find those people and groups most likely to want to read, review, recommend, and or buy your books. Internet searches and industry contact databases are your best bet. Marketing materials. Develop compelling, informative, interactive, and yes, entertaining marketing materials related to you and your book. Very much what we saw in a previous slide. Think in terms of high quality visual, audio, video, and interactive media. 6, marketing material packaging. Aggregate your marketing materials on an interactive platform to make it easy for your audience to access, learn, interact with, and share information about you and your book. We can't stress this enough. Make it quick and make it easy for your audience to find all your marketing stuff. 7, marketing material distribution. Make your interactive marketing platform readily available to your network for easy viewing, easy reading, and easy sharing. Do direct marketing via email. Get it out there any and every way you can. Now, let's work to get people talking about you and your book. Publicity is getting other people to talk about you and your book. The ultimate question is, of course, why would anyone want to do that? The short answer also happens to be the best answer, because what you have to offer is, once again, informative and entertaining to their audiences. And like your marketing plan, you need to get your information onto the screen of as many industry influencers as possible. With that in mind, let's discuss the 4 points outlined on this slide. Time allocation. Again, develop your publicity time allocation. How much time per week can you devote to connecting and interacting with industry influencers? 2, budgeting. Develop the publicity budget you'll need to distribute your marketing materials. 3, outreach messaging. Get your marketing materials onto the screens of those industry influencers identified through your marketing research. Make requesting a review copy of your book quick and easy. And finally, tracking. Track the effectiveness of your publicity campaign. Follow up with your outreach messaging. Find what messages and incentives work best. Remember, it's a process that is continually getting better and more effective. At the end of the day, we are all faced with one of 2 choices. As you can imagine, we don't recommend the first approach. It just doesn't work. Instead, and this may come as a bit of a shock, we're going to advocate for the proactive approach because we know it works. With the proactive approach, you'll now have 4 powerful assets at your disposal. Now, 1 is going to be your book. Your book is your main asset, and you're going to have 3 supporting assets. You're going to have your networking plan and assets in place. You're going to have your marketing plan and assets in place, and you're going to have your publicity plan and assets in place. Your book is a valuable economic asset. You worked hard to write it. You worked harder still to get it ready for sale. Now you are ready to make that asset work for you and generate income. The genuinely wonderful thing about any book is that no matter how long it's been in print, it's fresh off the presses to the person just hearing about it. Build those networking, marketing, and publicity plans. Build the supporting marketing assets. Build multiple avenues all leading to your book. Get your story out there. Keep your story out there. You owe it to yourself, and you will certainly owe it to your readers. My name is Ramsey. This is Storiad, and I thank you kindly for your time. Please feel free to drop me an email at the address provided above, or tweet us if you prefer. Now, our guest today is Shadana Brewer. Shadana runs Aqua 83 Consulting and is here today to give us an introduction to virtual author events, a webinar-based platform developed by Storiad and Aqua 83 to give authors a powerful, interactive, video-based communication tool. Shadana, hello there.
Hi, Ramsey. Thank you so very much for that introduction, and thank you for all of that great information about the many wonderful components of bookselling tools with Storiad's marketing program. For the next few minutes, we'll hone in on one of those aspects of the program, which is called Virtual Author Events, or as we affectionately call it, VAEs. It is a simple yet effective solution to help increase your marketing reach through non-traditional book touring. But before I kick off the discussion, go ahead and send any questions you may have in the chat box, and we'll get to as many as we can after the presentation. Having said that, welcome to the wonderful world of virtual author events. Again, I am Shadana. You can find me on Twitter at Aqua83Consult. And for the purpose of this portion of the event, go ahead and use hashtag virtual author event on Twitter. So a little bit about me. I have an educational background in marketing and communications. I've worked in several industries, including working with authors and speakers on their marketing and public relations campaigns. My sweet spot, however, would be events, and yes, that includes webinars. I package and deliver my services through a small event and marketing planning firm I call Aqua83 Consulting, where we focus on helping small and startup organizations and individuals that may need help executing events and marketing plans. But we're not here to talk about me. The topic is author events. So let's jump right in and discuss some of the downfalls authors experience today. Right at the top of the list, there's no surprise. We have money. Small budgets may constrict you to reach certain regions, limit appearances, decrease your accessibility to resources, and so on. For example, a multi-destination tour can really rack up in costs. Another concern at the top of the list is attendance. Let's face it, unless you're a celebrity and everyone's highly anticipating your new release, or unless you do have that large budget where you can pump money into marketing and promotions, getting people in those seats could be a real issue. Let's take it a step further and talk about technology. I'm sure we can all agree that technology, we have a love and hate relationship with it. It makes everything more convenient, even the way we purchase books. So convenient, in fact, if a person has a choice to do something from the comfort of their home via a laptop or a mobile phone, rather than go out in the public and do the same thing, they'd probably choose to stay in. Technology has changed the dynamics of marketing. Traditional marketing will not get you the reach you need and deserve, for that matter. So if you are not using technology for your marketing efforts, now would be a good time to reconsider. Now, these are just a few setbacks. However, there's good news. There's a solution for every problem. So let's talk about some of the things that we can do to salvage author events. Now, I'm sure you heard of the saying, if you can't beat them, join them. So staying in that same mind frame of technology, at the top of the list, we recommend going digital. Going digital allows you to be creative with your presentation and reach more people in more places at one time. It also forces you to build a brand to distinguish yourself from others in your genre and create yourself as an expert in this area by collecting and creating content to package yourself. And I'm sure we can all agree that this is something we strive to manifest in multiple areas of our life, and that's saving time and money. The price of a digital event is a mere fraction of the cost it would take to execute a traditional author event. On the bright side, all of these wonderful examples constitutes the essence of a VAE. A VAE is an event conducted online that makes use of audio and video, and it also has interactive elements to communicate with a large number of people. They can be in real time, pre-recorded, or a combination of the two. And this is definitely something that cannot be done with a traditional author event. There are opt-in marketing capabilities as well as the ability to collect market data that can be retained and repurposed through real-time polling. Think about it. Having your audience members raise their hands during your event is not nearly as effective. Now, remember that thing we called branding? We spoke about it a few slides back. Well, developing a VAE allows you to really define your brand. Branding plays a huge role in the success of any product or service. And guess what? Your book is no different. Creating a look, feel, and overall identity for your book, genre, writing style, series, and even your name is how you create your brand. The best part about completing a VAE is that once it's been executed, you have this beautiful, well-packaged marketing piece that can be reused many times across many channels. And let's not forget the purpose of this is bookselling. A VAE and its flexibility is a sure sales driver. Although VAEs are online by nature, they still require the same tender love and care as a live event. It starts with a consultation where we talk about your project, your previous marketing efforts, and your overall goals for your book. Thereafter, we'll plunge right into the marketing component, which will include a little bit of prepping, gathering and creating materials, customizing your invitation and registration, and so on. There are many aspects of the planning process, so we'll manage it to make sure that the flow is on point and that all deadlines are being met. Of course, there cannot be a great campaign without the perfect strategic marketing plan, and day of coordination takes care of the run of show. And probably the most important component of everything is the post-event marketing, where we look into things like analytics, ROI, and follow-ups, because we all know that there's so much power in follow-up. There is no other service of this kind. This is an innovative way to utilize online resources, and it's just the beginning. Speaking of resources, between StoryAd and Aqua 83, there is a wealth of knowledge and expertise at your fingertips. And after all, this is your baby. You have worked so hard to produce your book, and we want to make sure that your ideas and creativity are apparent. So we will work with you one-on-one every step of the way to make sure that you produce an excellent presentation. Now, let's take a second and think about the book selling strategies Ramsey shared with us a few minutes ago. It is so important to develop the right assets, and even more important to develop a custom strategy for your book. That includes that networking, marketing, and public relations that Ramsey spoke of. Planning, managing, and executing a VAE is just the beginning of a successful book selling campaign. Strategy and tools make a campaign successful. So don't just write books, sell them. Log on to StoryAd's website and schedule your free actionable book marketing evaluation report. And as a special thank you for your time today, we are so excited to announce that everyone in attendance will be offered a special discount rate when you sign up for your own VAE. All of the discount information, along with the recording of this event, will be emailed to each one of you. So, Ramsey, I think that we've covered everything that we had for today. It may be time to take a few questions. If you haven't done so yet, please go ahead and submit your questions in the chat box below. Ramsey?
Shadana, thank you very, very much. That was wonderful. And we'll answer a few questions that you may have. And if you think of any questions later on, please don't hesitate to contact either me at the email shown on the screen here, or Shadana at her contact information. So let's go ahead and take some questions from the audience.